So people called me crazy a couple years ago when I talked about JaMarr Chase. Um, is he a one? Right? Is he a one receiver? And I talked about Joe Burrow and his development and the Bengals. The Super Bowl that they went to was a crash dump of just having the right players at the right time. You had T. Higgins, you had Tyler Boyd, you had JaMarr Chase, um, and in that and doing that, you had Joe Mixon. You had Hawkinson as a tight end. You had decent offensive line, and then you also had a defense that was solid. And what we've seen the years after that, what we've seen and we have seen is Joe Burrow just derail. Aside from his injury, he's played marginal throughout these games. But more importantly, because JaMarr Chase, we're seeing JaMarr Chase be a one, and him that guy. And I'm not sure whatever he's mad at, but we see that his his ability to navigate through the defense is is amateur. It's still adolescent. He's not finding spots in the zone. He's not getting open. He's not a possession receiver. He's not understanding how defense flows. And what we're seeing is him really be a slant boy and a go boy, right? We're not seeing him be that universal receiver, possession receiver that we want to see from JaMarr Chase. And his understanding of the offense has to evolve. He's probably gonna get frustrated because there's no one outside of him that's getting open. I'm not sure what's happened with T. Higgins, but we're seeing him being a one, and we're seeing him just play marginal. And I'm not surprised by this. If you look at the last two games, he hasn't amassed 100 yards. He's in two games he has 10 receptions, 97 yards, and no touchdowns. All right, so he's frustrated. But the thing in two losses, but the thing is too, he's just not a guy that who's really taking his steps to the second level. CeeDee Lamb did this with the Cowboys. He made himself a guy that Dak Prescott will go to when he needs to. Right, and that's what CeeDee Lamb CeeDee Lamb evolved his game to the next level. Even in losses, right? CeeDee Lamb had four receptions, 90 yards, and one touchdown. But JaMarr Chase still can't get over that hump, right? So the Bengals, when I talked about the Bengals a couple of years ago, I said, hey, look, I could pull up a video, maybe a clip from a video or something and show you guys. But the Bengals and Joe Burrow, if Joe Burrow wants to get better, he has to start looking at how can he stay in the pocket, understand protections, understand fronts. And then JaMarr Chase has to really understand and develop how to flow well in the defense to have big numbers, right? How can he show a big number to Joe Burrow outside just to go, outside just to slant? And it's not necessarily on play design. It's more or less him really just being open when he needs to be open, and he's not doing that. So I do think that the development of JaMarr Chase as a receiver, and why one of the reasons this is not helping his case to get paid. He's frustrated now. You're not winning. You're not getting open. You're seeing a lot more bracket coverage. I want to say they're doubling on bracket coverage. You're getting a lot more attention, and you're not getting open. If you're a one, you're gonna find ways to get open, even in losses. So JaMarr Chase has to develop. The Bengals have to develop holistically with Joe Burrow, their offensive line, their running game, etc. They don't have that, right? They have to figure out how to make things better when it comes to just on offense and development throughout, not just the system, but overall in the game. And this is one thing that's stopping JaMarr Chase from being, I think, an exceptional receiver that we can say, hey, he's a top guy in the league as opposed to just a slant or a go boy. It's early, but these are some things that I think could hinder the Bengals later on down the line in the season.